So we have from ScreenRant.com, new Star Wars rumors suggest Matt Smith is young Palpatine. Now, we've had a younger Palpatine in the prequels played by Ian McDermott. He played him as Old Man in Return of the Jedi. Empire Strikes Back was I think it was a woman actually that did that part until they retconned it post prequels. So now we have Matt Smith jumping into, he did an okay job as Doctor Who. I liked some of his. David Tennant was still better than me. Christopher Eccleston a little bit better than Matt Smith, even though he only did it one series. So a new Star Wars Episode 9 rumor claims that Matt Smith is playing a young Sheev Palpatine. I guess that's how you pronounce it in the movie. I'm guessing young. Let's see, Matt's in his 30s. So before he rises to power on, it's just interesting. So we're going to have flashbacks that go back 40 years. The Doctor Who alum is one of several newcomers to the galaxy far, far away, appearing in the upcoming film. Joining the cast over the summer. And what was described as only as a key role. Oh yeah, I like the quotes. I wish there was a way to do air quotes, like with fingers or something. In typical Lucasfilm fashion, it's all screwed up. Nope. Plot details for the sequel trilogy finale are being kept firmly under wraps. Maybe. I don't know how many of these leaks are real and how many of them are just, are true, but they want to see. They're kind of like a tribal. Hey, let's say so-and-so's in the movie. Yeah, but that didn't work out. And we'll say, hey, they like so-and-so. Let's keep them in. We'll do, okay. So, which means not much about all the fresh faces that will be, okay. Which means not much is known about all the fresh faces that would be popping. That's not a fresh face, but a fresh face means new. Your cast that no one likes is your fresh faces. Palpatine, of course, was the overarching big bad of the first 6. Yeah, because, Snoke's dead, so we got to have something. He assumed control of the Galactic Empire in the prequels and transformed it into the Galactic Republic, excuse me. Though he's long dead by the time The Force Awakens continued the narrative, his influence was still felt at the First Order, obviously molded itself, it was a carbon copy because that's all Jar Jar Abrams can do. And latest to be believed, Palpatine may have a presence next December. Okay, so during the hot scoops of shoot of poop, hot scoop or shot of poop, hot scoop or shot of poop. See, if you read what's there, it makes sense. Segment during the latest episode of the Weekly Planet podcast, it was stated Matt may portray a young Palpatine in episode 9. It's worth mentioning this information came from always anonymous source, strictly rumor. So if it doesn't turn out, it was just a rumor, guys. But if it does turn out, hey, that was a really good rumor. While fans should definitely keep their grains of salt handy in this instance, always, it's still a very intriguing possibility to discuss. Not really, because it means they need other names to come see the movie, because Rey, Finn, and Poe and Kylo Cuck are not strong enough draws. Those characters are not strong enough draws, and the actors behind them, Adam Driver's probably the only one anybody can name. Maybe Daisy Ridley. And Poe Dameron and Finn, whatever his name is, Finn, the chucklehead Finn. His biggest matter is figuring out how exactly Palpatine would return. It's possible Episode 9 will incorporate it's going to incorporate I think half the movie's going to be flashbacks to try and draw some kind of narrative. Or Jar Jar Abrams pulls a page from Legends and makes Palpatine clones canon. The weekly podcast was mentioned. Star Wars Rebels introduced the concept of time travel to the franchise, so perhaps, and that's been batted about a bunch of times, makes it, this is one of the ways that maybe they saved Luke. As illustrated by Solo's infamous Mal cameo, Lucasfilm isn't afraid to directly connect the TV shows and the movies. See, and that's the thing, I think if they wouldn't have, two things, if they wouldn't have made Lando a pansexual cuck, and really, made Solo the hero-esque. He couldn't be the hero yet. He had to be the scoundrel, the main character as opposed to the woman. I think Solo would have done better, and we would have had a Solo trilogy, which ends with, hey, let's go see what Jabba the Hutt wants. Isn't afraid to, that would be nice. That being said, Dave Filoni has stated he hopes the device doesn't become a permanent fixture in Star Wars, unlike Lost, where it would just went, backwards and forwards and sideways and upside down and everything else. This would be a radical departure from the norm for a course correction movie. Meaning Abrams might have something else in mind. This would be a radical departure from the norm of a course. So what is the norm of a course correction movie? So even here, where Screen Rant, who's the sycophant for the new Disney Star Wars, they are admitting that Episode 9 is a course correction because Episode 8 was a pile of dog crap. There's also a case to be made that bringing back Palpatine would undermine key developments in the first two sequel trilogy installments, most notably The Last Jedi, which I think everybody wants to erase. It seems, I know there are some people who really like the movie, but they're in a very, very small minority. And if only those people show up for Episode 9 is going to lose hundreds of millions of dollars. It seems if Kylo Ren is posed to be Episode 9's primary villain. Why? He's been beaten twice by the same protagonist. So why is he the primary villain? As he's reached the point of no return in the galaxy's ultimate evil. It's one thing to have Kylo constantly bicker with General Hux, but throwing a new Palpatine in the... if he's going to be a young Palpatine, why would he... Well, that's right, it could be a clone. It just... Maybe they're getting this set up for the next trilogy, because there's going to be another trilogy. It might be for the best if Smith was playing an entirely new character and Abrams left Palpatine to rest in peace. Now, I actually agree with something from Screen Rant. It would be awesome if Jar Jar would just leave the entire original trilogy in peace and just extend the story instead of retelling it, instead of killing off and screwing up the old characters. Why don't you just have an extension? Why don't you create... Oh, that means he has to create something. No comments. At least that I can see. Nope. Just a bunch of blocked advertising. So I actually think this is a horrific news, but it is typical of Disney because they just can't get people in their butts and seats with the new characters. The new characters are very poorly written. They're stereotypes. The strong, woman stereotype who's, basically bitchy and orders everybody around. You have Finn, who is the black comedian, as opposed to Lando Calrissian, who was the smooth, suave, bit of a scoundrel, but he was a bit of a pirate baron there in Empire Strikes Back. He was running Cloud City, and then he's a general and leads the attack on the Death Star 2.0. So we couldn't have a strong, leader, black leader, could we? And then we have Poe Dameron. He's not white, but he's not. We're not sure what he is. He's not. He's a Caucasian. That's just such baloney. Spaniards are white people too, and he's there for I don't know what. Apparently, to be bitch slapped around in the second movie quite a bit by Laura Dern's character. But and Carrie Fisher's dead, so they their plan they keep saying they had a plan. The plan was to basically emasculate all the male characters of the original trilogy and have Princess Leia be the hero of the new one. Well, unfortunately, Carrie Fisher passed along before they could finish that. And, in many ways, she was the hero. She did not give up anything in the first movie. She was not expecting to be rescued or anything. She was consigned to her fate, knowing that the Empire, or at least believing the Empire, did not have the plans and that Kenobi would get them to where they needed to be. And, had there not been a rescue attempt and they would have gotten everything to the rebels and everything else continued, obviously she would have died on the Death Star with everybody else. So, she's already a hero. She was already a leader and seen as a leader. And looking at Empire Strikes Back, she's ordering, she's laying out orders of what needs to be done. She's not bossing anybody around. She's not bitching anybody around. She's just laying out, here's the general orders. You guys, here's what needs to be done. Go do it. And that's the mark of a really good leader. And I know there was a love triangle, but that was part of breaking her heart. She was very hard-hearted, just like Solo was, and it was going to take those two very strong personalities to bring them together. So I don't see this as good news. I see this as Disney, Lucasfilm just reaching for anything to get butts in seats because they know that interest in Episode 9 has fallen really fast, and they it's just. I expect we'll get multiple things like this where other actors will come in. He may be in the movie. This may be just a smokescreen. He may be in the movie 5 minutes or less, in a flashback, just something for just a couple minutes to fill in some void. But we'll see. All right. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for coming, and we'll see you later. Bye.